What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here. This is Gotham, Season 3, Episode 3. Look into my eyes. Look deep. You're going to click the like and subscribe button. I probably just got a ton of dislikes for that. It's okay. Anyway, yeah, first episode for Jervis Tetch, aka the Mad Hatter. We had kind of a foreshadowing moment at the end of last season. Hugo Strange was walking through Indian Hill and he started reading Alice in Wonderland. I thought maybe that meant he had the Mad Hatter there, but I guess he didn't, and it was just the writer's way of saying, oh guys, Mad Hatter next season. I don't know, that's kind of weird now that I'm looking back at it. But as far as this episode, the guy playing Jervis Tetch, I know him from The Walking Dead. He was one of the wolves that they had locked up at Alexandria. He does a great job with this character. You know, he's kind of got this calming voice, you know, that just whenever he's hypnotizing somebody, it sounds like a hypnotist. You know, he sounds like his voice is very soothing. It does relax them. It does hypnotize them. My only issue with him, though, he's too tall. Jervis Tetch is supposed to be like short, at least from the comics he is. So that's the only issue I have. Maybe he'll shrink or something because Gotham logic. I don't know. But anyway, the story that they've got going on is fairly interesting. He's looking for his sister Alice, which keeps fairly in line with his character. She is actually one of the Indian Hill escapees. Something's going on with her blood. It's infected. And I don't know what it's infected with, but whatever it is, this one guy, like, I guess it's her landlord that she found this place to stay. He wants money from her, won't give it to him. And so, they get into a little scuffle. He kisses her and then loses his mind. It was really, really freaky. Like, whenever he jumped out of the closet at Jim and started attacking him, it looked really, really scary. Like, I'm kind of having mental images that is probably going to give me nightmares tonight. But anyway, I don't know what it is. The only other character I know that has a similar thing is Poison Ivy, and we saw her in the last episode. She's now grown up, and part of Poison Ivy's character is her blood is infected, so whenever she would kiss men or whenever, like, she would, like, that was the one thing that I just remember from Batman and Robin, that's how she would infect them and kill them. But, like, that's the only other character I know that has infected blood, so I wonder if they're somehow going to combine. Like, if somehow her blood is going to get infected, so now that's how she has the infected blood? I don't know. Just many possibilities, but long story short, this episode was interesting. It was fun to watch. It was a bit on the creepy side. The way that he hypnotizes them, it really... They do a good job of showing it. They do a good job of showing how he's getting into their mind, and it's like, that's all they see. That's all they hear. They don't hear anything else. They hear the ticking of his little watch. They hear it slowly slows down, and they hear nothing else but his voice. So that was really well done, how they did all of that. And that's a majority of what this episode is, which I really like how they managed to incorporate the Mad Hatter into the story of Jim hunting down the Indian Hill escapees by making Alice one of the escapees he has to find. That's a good way to say, here's the Mad Hatter, guys, new villain for this season, but also, we're still on the Indian Hill escapees. It's just, this is the story for now. Also going on, you've got Selena still looking for Ivy, so she goes to Bruce for help, who is dealing with his anti-Bruce. Still don't know what this guy's deal is. Still don't know if he's just created to mimic Bruce. Like, I don't know what it is. He feels no pain, which is bizarre. The scene between him and Alfred, when Alfred and Bruce was sparring, and then he's like, I want to try too. And then, like, Alfred starts to swing at him, and he just, like, dodges and hits the crap out of Alfred. She's like, okay. And then Alfred, like, you can see he's getting kind of pissed, and so he hits the crap out of him, makes his nose bleed, and it's just like, you didn't feel that? And he's like, no, should I have? It's like, you don't know how to human. What is wrong with you? Are you a robot or what? So, still don't know the story behind him, but basically, it's like he wants to mimic Bruce. At first I was just like, is he just mesmerized by the fact that this kid looks just like him? but by the end of the episode, he actually cuts his hair. He's trying to mimic Bruce and how he says stuff. So I'm wondering if maybe that was the direct order from Hugo Strange, was to pretend to be Bruce Wayne. Um, don't know. Maybe we'll find out later. But at the end of the episode, he ends up finding Selina and saying, "Hey, I'm going to help you." So that's interesting to see where that's going. Also going on at the same time, you've got Penguin running for mayor, which, what can I say? Robin Lord Taylor has always been my favorite part of the show. And these scenes that he's having now where he's got these people rallied behind him, it's totally believable because even though he does have a bit of a crazy edge to him, you can see that the words that he's saying are very powerful. And that's what I've always loved about his characters, that he chooses his words very particularly. He doesn't just spout off at the mouth. It's very, you really got to pay attention because what he's saying, he never just says anything willy-nilly. Everything he says has meaning behind it. I love it. It's just easily one of the best performances on TV nowadays. You know, just watch Robin Lord Taylor's Oswald Cobblepot. You'll love it. But there were a couple of good scenes. You know, Mayor James, or former Mayor James, is now wanting to run for mayor again, so he's giving a press conference. Cobblepot shows up, and he's just like, no, I've got these people, you know, got a mob behind me, they support me. So now he's stepping up to him, and then he sets up his house as a campaign office, gets a call from former Mayor James, wants a meeting. And so we finally see kind of Mayor James is maybe not as clean as everybody thought he was at first. And, you know, I think we all kind of knew that he was not the bumbling politician that he thought himself, or they tried to portray himself to be. Like, he definitely has his hands in some of the wrong pockets. But, you know, I don't know exactly what to expect from him. I don't really know exactly how to take this story. But what is fun is watching him thinking that he has one over on Cobblepot. You know, he gets into the restaurant, and all of a sudden his guys show up with the guns. He's like, "Oh, you, always thinking one step ahead." And then snaps his fingers. Every other customer in the restaurant stands up with guns of their own. And it's like, instead of thinking 3 steps ahead. And it's just like, that is brilliant. I love that scene. But the thing is, I really don't know how to feel about it, because on the one hand, as much as I enjoy Oswald Cobblepot as a character, he is supposed to be a bad guy, and yet the show is kind of making him out to be a character to root for. You know, obviously we want to root for him over Mayor James, but at the same time, we still don't really want to root for him, do we? I mean, he's a bad guy still. You know, it's like if the Joker were running for mayor, would you be like, yeah, go Joker? Probably not. So I feel like they need to figure out whether or not they want Penguin to be a bad guy or a kind of in between guy. Because he's gone back and forth so much, I don't even know anymore how exactly to take his character. The final thing he does, he gets Enigma out of Arkham Asylum for some sort of help. I'm not really sure why, but it'll be interesting to see what he's going to do there. There are a few other storylines going on. You know, you've got Lee returning, and Jim ends up meeting up with her. She apparently has moved back with her fiance, who I think his dad is Falcone. I kind of got a phone call right in the middle of that scene where she's talking with Falcone and her fiance at dinner, but it sounds like that's his dad, possibly. I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure that Falcone had a son, like, in the comics and stuff, so maybe that's what it is, but I totally missed that scene. I know he was asking about Jim, and she's saying, you know, he's moved on, he won't be a problem anymore, something along those lines. So I don't know what's going on quite yet, but yeah, that's interesting. It's very interesting. There's also a scene between Jim and her fiance, because he had to go to the hospital, and of course the one doctor that is the one to fix him up just happens to be her fiance. Nice little scene there at the end, though, where he's just like, if you were to hurt Lee, well, I just have to hunt you down and kill you. And just walks away. Well, actually, I asked him about Alice, but it was... I really love Jim this season. Like, he has really become much more fun, because the past couple seasons it's been struggling with, is he a good guy, is he a bad guy, how far, you know, where's the line, where do you draw the line, how far can you cross the line before it's too far, you know, is he Is he going to be able to clean up the GCPD? All of this stuff. It felt like you couldn't really have a lot of fun with him because, well, he's going to step over the line, and then it's going to be a no-no, and then he's going to be all upset with himself. This season, it feels like he's just doing whatever he wants. Jervis Tetch comes in, says, I want you to find my sister. He's like, well, the GCPD is paying me $5,000. What do you got? And he's like, I'm going to double it. And he's just like, I'll do it. So you can tell he's a much more... he's not nearly as good as he has been the past couple seasons. So that's fun to see how they're going to play with that. But yeah, I mean, there are a few things in the Jervis Tetch storyline that were really interesting. You've got the one at the club where he first meets the people that he's going to take over their house. And it's interesting to see kind of the way that they film some of this stuff. They managed to tell you some stuff without really telling you with words. Like he's walking through the crowd, he sees a woman with a necklace, and at first I'm just like, what, is he going to try to like make her give him the necklace or something like that? Well, as it turns out, once he saw that, he realized, well, they must have money, and so he gets her husband up on stage, hypnotizes him into giving him the house whenever he shows up. So that first scene, and then the scene where he shows up at the house and gets the husband to open the door for him, let him in, and then kill his wife, and then he's like, I want you to wrap her in plastic and bury her outside. Oh, and kill yourself while you're at it. It's just kind of like, that makes for an interesting bad guy. And, one of the things that I liked about Hugo Strange is that he's a bit more of a psychological villain. So is Jervis Tetch, and I love these psychological, just mind thriller type things, where it's like, he's messing with your mind, and from what I see from the previews for next week, he's going to be doing the same thing to Jim. Like, I see a couple scenes where he, like, wants to kill him, but he can't because Jervis won't let him. It's just like, that is some good stuff. It's going to be really, like, mind-twisty and all that good stuff. But, there are also a couple funny scenes to keep the mood a bit lighter. Obviously, some of the stuff between Mayor James and Penguin is funny, just seeing some of the reactions between the two. But then there's the scene in the club where Jervis is performing again and hypnotizing Barbara, and then convinces her that she is desperately in love with him, and then he's like, what if I told you that I love somebody else? And then she, like, grabs somebody's wine glass, breaks it, and then puts it up to his throat, and he's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, no longer control. And Tabitha shows up and, like, grabs her hand. She's like, she has rejection issues. That is funny to me. Just the fact that she almost killed him just because of what he was hypnotizing her to do. That's funny stuff. But then after that, they have a really, really intense scene where, even though I know Jim is not going to jump off the building, it's kind of like he has him up there. And one of the things he says is, I can only convince people to do what they want to do deep down. If they don't want to do it, I can't hypnotize them to do it. And so he's telling Jim, step to the edge of the building. You want to end your life, don't you? He's like, yes, I do. That's like a delve into Jim's psyche right now. Like, that is how hard off he is, that he wants to kill himself deep down. Like, he has no real job right now. He's a bounty hunter for the police. He's not even a policeman anymore. He's failed in his job to clean up the GCPD. He's not even a good guy technically anymore. He slept with Valerie, and then she pretty much just said, oh, you're a one-night stand. See ya. And then Lee shows back up with her fiancé. All of this stuff is going on. That's how far he's gone. Like, that is how desperate he is to just end all of it. That he is actually wanting to kill himself. It's really kind of dark to think about. But luckily Alice shows up just in the nick of time, somehow finding her way to the club and to the roof, and knowing that he's about to make Jim jump off. Anyway, all of it was a bit coincidental that she showed up just in the nick of time. But she does, she saves him, and now it's like, what's going to happen next? Like, it got such a good setup. Like I said, Jervis is now in his mind, and it looks like that's going to play into the next episode as well. So I don't know how long Mad Hatter's going to be around. Obviously, the second half of this, or this first half of the season, is called Mad City. So this is why Mad Hatter. So be interesting to see what they're going to do. But yeah, that's about it for this episode. It was good. It was fun to watch. It was a bit a bit twisted at times, but still pretty much what I want to see out of this show. You know, they're doing some interesting stuff. They're taking some liberties that is making it their own thing. So I'll be interested to see what they're going to do with it from now on. So looking forward to the next episode. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What did you like and dislike about this episode? What do you want to see them do with the Mad Hatter himself? All that good stuff. Let me know. We can discuss and talk about it. Leave a like and subscribe for future Gotham reviews. I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.